Yo, yo, yo. What's good? What's good? It's Stormybman, and I am back, welcoming you to Answering the Bell. Stormybman, our Sunday morning call-in show for this Sunday, December 28th, 2025. This is number 189 in our series of call-ins, and we approach another day coming out of a weekend of boxing, a week of boxing news. And this is where we get a chance to kind of catch up a little bit, review things, and have commentary and discussion on matters. Yeah, I want to say good morning to you all. Thank you for tuning in this morning. Please smash the like button as you enter the building, and feel free to leave your comments as we break through on another day of call-in conversation. Last night, I had an opportunity to go live with a special edition of the Friday Night Chop Session, the year's end review for awards. Of the Year Awards for 2025, and we came away with a successful show as we spoke about my thoughts on who should have the awards for Fighter of the Year, Trainer of the Year, KO of the Year, Round of the Year, Event of the Year, Comeback of the Year, Fight of the Year, and Upset of the Year. We covered all bases. And there was some disagreements in the chat, which is okay because it's open for conjecture. But I wanted to state what I came away from the sport with. And it's been a memorable year, 2025, for the sport of boxing. And we only look upward in hope for 2026 as we can gain more opportunity for quality matchups as well as performances in the ring by the fighters. Yeah. We'll take a quick moment out to see who we got in the building. Just a little bit of light work out there this morning. We got Convos with Cam in the building. What's going on with you? Good to see you early. Says driving and listening today. Blessings to you, Stormy, and chat. Right back at you. Eric Jordan is in the building, saluting. What's good with you? And then we also have Universal Truth, who is becoming quite the faithful subject in the building, saying salute. Right back at you, brother. And then we've got Troll Slayer stepping in to say hi. Or should I say, hi? Which one is it, Troll Slayer? Because you know it makes all the difference in the world. If you choose wrong, you will be gone. So be careful. Huh? Yeah. You know, you come up in here with your wrist straight. Huh? Don't come in here with that wrist bent. Huh? It ain't that type of party. Woo! You know, Stormy will make a mess out of everything early. You know what I'm saying? The CDB is in the building saying salute to all, salute to you. What's really going on? And we are broadcasting again, multi-streaming across several channels. We got two of the Stormybman channels here where we're on the main channel as well as the Temple of Culture and Entertainment channel. It's very important that we get the views and the subs up on that channel as well. So if you haven't subscribed to Stormybman's other channels, you know, you may want to invest, huh? If my brother Eric Jordan is out there, since you're such a loyal subject and assist me from time to time, if you could be kind enough to put the links for Stormy's other two channels, Kung Fu Temple and Entertainment channel and the Temple of Culture and Entertainment. How about that? If you could do that for me, EJ, that would be much appreciated as I'm multitasking here to begin with. And don't forget, the link has been pinned at the top of this chat where you can follow me over on Rumble, where we are trying to increase the viewing audience over there, where I can just get to 100 subs and I'll be able to just go live from Rumble, huh? And we'll be able to advertise on YouTube. Yeah! So, that being said, welcome everybody. Welcome. Coming out of a weekend of fights where we saw the Japanese, take over this weekend as they had one of their early morning bouts. They need to start making them Japanese folk get on our time, because getting up at 4 a.m. to watch their fight cards, man, that ain't where it's at. You know what I'm saying? So it's time to get those dudes, on otherworldly hours, They're Japanese, That's why in those Bruce Lee movies, he be going after them dudes because you get me up at 4 a.m. to kill my teacher. Yeah. We have to go after them Japs, man. Get them on the other folks' timetable. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? They coming out there and making folks get up, still got sleep in your eye. What's really going on? My brother Drew Titan is in the building. What's happening? So, I don't know if any of you had a chance to check out the Japanese Night of the Samurai card. It was supposedly on pay-per-view, but I was combing the airwaves for those folks who like to upload stuff from other regions of the world. And I was able to see some stuff, That's right, True Titan. So you're Japanese. Yeah, man. Don't make me polish off my Jeet Kune Do up in this market, putting fights on at 4 a.m. If you don't get out of here, what is really going on, man? I got up yesterday, I saw a text message from Junior the Truth. He was like, man, this is pay-per-view. I was like, why you think I was still in the bed? That was worthy of a undercard for something that you might see on Triller, huh? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But listen, your boy, huh? In the main event, Naoya Inoue, huh? Or as Drew likes to call him, annoying in the way. What in the world was he doing, man? Huh? First of all, the blonde hair ain't it, bro. It just ain't working for you, huh? And the other thing that ain't working for you is, huh, them double hand wraps over in Saudi. Yeah, huh? They said, what's this? What you doing, man?
This is how we do it in Japan.
We in Saudi, bruh. Huh? Take that extra cast off your fucking hands, huh? The Japanese. Yeah. You think you're gonna bring that stuff over to Saudi, man? And no one benefits outside of David Picasso, the fighter that was challenging him. Because Picasso not only made it through to 12, huh? He didn't get knocked down. He didn't get rocked or shook up or anything like a lot of other Inoue opponents, right? So I think we're on to something here, huh? Just like when Nazim Richardson found out that Felix Trinidad, Tito, as they wanted to call him, Tito, get me some tissue, huh? When he was over there getting ready to fight B-Hop, and Nazim say, hey, what you doing with them raps? You all gloved up. We ain't even came in here to see you rap. You're going to have to take all that off and do it all over again while somebody got eyes on you, huh? And they were like, what? What do you mean? Isn't that? He's like, hey, you either do it or there's no fight, huh? No fight. Coach Hudson in the building. What's good with you, bro? Yeah. So when Tito peeled those wraps off and got his hands rewrapped, history was rewritten in the fight when Bernard Hopkins not only put him down, but he put him out, huh? Yeah. So you see, something does good come from, watching these guys. Because remember, they say it's only cheating if you don't get caught, right? So Inoue had to come up with a new game plan. And you know what that was? Boxing. Yeah. He had to box him. And guess what? He hit Picasso with everything, huh? Everything in the book. And guess where Picasso was? Right in his face. Yeah. In other words, show me what you're working with, huh? And Inoue couldn't do much of anything but just continue to pepper him with shots. And that's okay, because we now have proof, huh, that something was up. We got proof. Remember, they say it ain't cheating if you don't get caught. Well, he got caught, huh? Got caught with his Japanese robe pulled up, and he didn't have no underwear on. Yeah, the Japanese. I just sit back in the cut and I be watching this stuff, man, because I want to see if other people can catch on to it. Now I know Coach Hudson gonna do a cook on it. My brother Drew just said in chat he frying them, huh? So we gonna smell some smelts, huh? By Monday afternoon, and it's all good, man. But just know that these folks are always out here doing something they ain't supposed to be doing, man. Now this guy happens to be an undisputed champion down there. And that super bantamweight, that's about the limit for him, because if he try to go up any higher, if he try to go up to that featherweight division, man, they gonna have him as sushi. You believe that, what I'm telling you. So double hand wrapping and everything and hitting those other folks over there in the mini divisions upside their head, getting those amazing knockouts. Okay, that's all cool in the game. But let me see you fight, huh? And that's the thing. He got a lot of knockouts down there, but when you're fighting guys who belong in there, who are strong and everything, and you ain't got your goodie bag, huh? Shout out to Tyson Fury. When you ain't got your goodie bag, you're unable, huh, to really do what you came to do. I just came to dance, as he says, huh? But you know what? They made him peel them damn extra wraps off. Yeah, they made him do that. And that was some great stuff. Like I said, Picasso benefited most from it. So yeah, it is what it is. And if you see what I'm looking at here, let's see. This is what I was talking about this guy, this blonde dye in his hair or whatever. He looked like a Japanese crackhead. But Picasso hung in there, you know, fighting out of Mexico. He wasn't to be trifled with. He came in with a record of 32 wins, no losses, and 1 draw with 17 KOs. He's 5'8". And so that meant that he was going to be a formidable opponent because he has size. I would imagine that Picasso was probably a super featherweight by the time they got in the ring. Inoue is only 5'5", 67.5-inch reach, as opposed to Picasso's 70-inch reach. But he was in there, and he was hanging in there with him, and he was taking whatever Monster had to dish out. Now, it's okay to take risks, but the thing is, I don't believe that Picasso came in there with a real full-fledged game plan. The opportunity was on the table, but he didn't really take the risks that necessary to get things done. Salute to my brother over there in the Rumble app with the $5 donation. It says, Monster Funk, Picasso face all the way up, swelling up like a pumpkin. Nasty work. And the ninja sword was in Monster's hands. Honestly, after the 5th round, Picasso was done. But a phenomenal week of boxing. It wasn't phenomenal. It was a good week, but not phenomenal. What was phenomenal was the awards show last night. That's what was phenomenal. See, and we need more people to show more support with fair like that. Royal Constrictor in the building. Jimmy Bernard, Isaiah GQ. What's good with all of you? Good to see you guys. Yeah. So, but Monster, he came in there. He tried to do something. But what was really interesting was his compadre, who he's supposed to be facing next, Junto Nakatani. He comes in there and he laid some shitty bricks. Because he comes in there, and I will tell you, he was not expecting his fight to be as tough as it was. Sebastian Hernandez brought the fight to him. It was close. Could have been a draw, but I thought that Hernandez did enough to upset Junto. Yeah. But the judges' scorecards read something totally different, fam. They had this guy winning no more than 2 or 3 rounds. When in the second half of the fight, Junto looked like he was going to need eye surgery and heart surgery. Yeah. Shout out to Hernandez, who really showed up and showed out. The Japanese. Man, they fixed those scorecards up. I hadn't seen nothing like that since Oscar De La Hoya took on, what's his name? Before he fought Bernard Hopkins. They did the same thing. Gave Oscar a huge decision. And that was ridiculous. Because he did not beat that man. Felix Stern. I was having a hard time remembering Stern's name. Felix Stern. But guess what? At least those judges had it 115 to 113 across the board for Oscar. These judges for Junto, whatever fight they was watching, it wasn't Junto and Sebastian. Because these guys had it 118 to 110, 115 to 113 twice. No, it was close, but it wasn't that close. It was in favor of Hernandez. Coach Hudson says, facts, these are their pound for pound kings. Or that P stands for something else, huh? And it is usually, meant for a derogatory term that references between a woman's legs. Yeah, that's what they really are. And they can be the kings of that. They're Japanese. Because you take them outside their element and they're very ordinary. Think about it. They go into the dressing room and they look at Naoya's hand wraps and it looked like he had just come out of the hospital with a broken hand, huh? And they put that soft cast on you when you first break your hand, right? So they had to pull back. They said, damn, we can't get him here. Let's get him at the scorer's table, huh? And the plan was on. But this is what they do, y'all. This is what they do. We try to tell you guys all the time to keep your eye on this stuff. This is exactly what they do. So, anyway. Shoot. So, with that being said, we're going to get ready to open up the call lines. Get to talking some boxing. You guys can call in. Let Stormy know what you thought about this weekend's bouts. Let me know what you think about the awards show if you saw it last night. If you didn't see the awards show last night, that's a F+ for you. Get to the back of the class. Huh? Yeah. Because you need to get on top of that kind of stuff, man. So, anyway, lines are open. Numbers up there on the screen. Let me know what you think. Drew Titan says they were told they couldn't do that. It's all on video. Yeah. It ain't cheating if you ain't caught, huh? Didn't we say that? There's a lot of these guys out here, man. A lot of them out here. They roaming around like zombies in the streets. So who's going to be the first? Let me hear from you guys. Let me hear it. I'm going to test that line and make sure it's working. Because I know some of y'all be trying to say,
Oh, it ain't working, Stormy. I tried to call him, but it ain't working. Yeah.
okay, we got 225 calling. Who's on the line?
Peace and blessings, Stormy. How we doing this Sunday?
I'm doing good. Who am I speaking with?
This Patrick at 225 Boxing Talk.
What's good with you, brother? How you doing? Well,
Nothing much. I'm doing good today. I'm feeling good. I just wanted to call and talk about the Inoue fight versus the Picasso cat.
yes,
And
sir.
I feel like the Picasso cat, he was real fundamentally sound, but he was just, I feel like if he would have thrown a little bit more, he could have made the fight a bit even more competitive than what it was. I think Inoue started to really take control in like through the middle of the fight through later on. But there's a punch. I want to see if you agree with me, Stormy. There's a punch I feel like Inoue could be susceptible to. And I think if Picasso would have threw his lead left hook more after Inoue's right hand, because Inoue got a good right hand, but he kind of, after he turns it, he kind of brings it back real slow. And I don't know what it is nowadays. Everybody trying to do a Philly shell, or people trying to have that posture of the shell with that rear hand up high and that lead hand down low. But it feels like I seen an opening after Inoue would throw his rear hand, his right cross. I feel like if someone could catch him, could time him a left hook on top of that punch, it would be pretty devastating. And I seen the punch I seen Picasso threw that punch maybe 3-4 times. I definitely seen it in the last round when Inoue got clipped a little bit, but he was able to eat it and shake it off. So I just wanted to get your opinion on that. Stormy, what's the type of punches? What punch counters a punch better? Because before the fight, I was watching Joe Louis versus Max Schmeling 1 and 2, and Max did a good job of countering Joe in the first fight, because Joe was he would always lead with his hand. He would always lean real heavy, and he always would try to push. And Max would time him every time he would try to push or lead with his lead left hand, or anything he threw out lazy. Max would time him with a right hand. And later on in their fight, Max would just letting Joe get a little comfortable in his combinations, and before you knew it, he would counter him with the right hand. So I'm like, if someone could, I think someone could get a real good left hook on Inoue could be in some trouble.
Yeah, it's pretty good assessment there, Patrick. I like your observation and how you were able to notice certain weak points in Monster. But I'm gonna tell you something that you overlook, and it refers back to what I was speaking on before the fight took place in the locker room. They made him take those extra hand wraps off, okay? And the guy has been stacking his wraps fighting in Japan. And when you fight that way, your hand is almost like a cast.
Ooh,
so
that's hard.
That's where that mystery punching power is coming from. Okay. Now, mind you, this is an old trade that they did for many years. Fighters can stack the wraps, and that's when you put tape, then gauze, then tape. It's supposed to be gauze over your flesh, not tape. Because the adhesive of the type of tape that they use, when the hand begins to sweat, and it will sweat inside the glove, that creates moisture. That'll also begin to make that tape that's formed over your fist like a cast. But there were other means of cheating that people would get into, where they would take the freshly wrapped hands and stick them in buckets of ice. Okay. And you stick them in ice for a little bit, and you take them out, and you can even dry the moisture off, but it's going to form a hardened state. Now, if you see guys in the dressing room all gloved up and they ain't even ready to fight yet, but it's like they gloved up early.
They gloved up early, huh?
By the time you get to the ring, by rounds maybe 2 or 3.
Oh, that thing got hard.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, Coach Hudson is in the chat. He'll tell you. He coaches people right now. I used to coach people. But they are doing things to get around to have these advantages. But it takes a quality, experienced corner to know these little nuances. That's why a lot of guys are subjected to bad things in the ring, because you have all of these new coaches and trainers, but they haven't learned the game. They haven't learned the sport inside out, not from the surface in, standing around with some damn focus mitts and a toothpick in your mouth with a towel thrown over your shoulder, doing slap hand routines on focus mitts. That's not a boxing coach and trainer. That's all aerobic. Okay. But there are other things that you said about him getting countered. Now, I'm going to tell you something. What it is when he throws the right hand, he's used to it doing damage. So the reason that he doesn't bring it back like he's supposed to, because nobody's making him pay, which is what you suggested with a counter. But when he's used to that punch doing damage to the person, do you understand? And
he relaxed.
He wasn't getting the result that he normally gets because he didn't have his hand wrapped like it's supposed to be, you know, or like wrapped like it normally is in Japan.
Yeah, brick wrap.
Yeah. So he didn't have the same residual effect when he hit the guy. If you notice, the guy wasn't even all cut up and everything. He was little bumps and bruises, but he didn't look like, you know, a lot of
no real blood.
Yeah, a lot of Inoue's opponents look really bludgeoned after they in there with him. That's why it's happening. You see what I'm saying? So there are elements of things that people don't know. There are elements.
Stacking them gloves could be real problem, bro. Like you getting hit with that, getting hit with someone that feel like that cast, bro. You swell up easier, you bruise up a lot easier. That do make sense because every time Inoue would throw that hand, he got a good right hand, but like he would kind of pause after it. Now that you mention it, it was kind of like he was kind of festering on that punch. Like he would throw the punch, and I don't know if he would just admire his work too long, but I was like, man, if Picasso
he
just
wasn't,
throw that,
he wasn't admiring his work. He was, in other words, like what he has normally gotten away with, he didn't switch his mindset because he's not working behind the same advantage that he normally has, but his habits were the same, which is why, again, in the corner of Picasso, if he had better trainers, they were supposed to take advantage of that. That was their moment to do so. You see, it's almost like, oh, he didn't bring his goodie bag with him so we can pick him apart. But they didn't think that way. You see, because he stood in front of him the whole entire 12 rounds.
Yeah, he stood. Yeah,
but
he was there.
Take advantage of the things of like he was supposed to take advantage of. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
1 second, bro. Right. Who are these people? I need my wrenches to get rid of these people coming into my chat, spamming my chat, bro. Get these people out of here.
He took Inoue's power pretty well. I didn't see him really hurt the whole fight. I think Inoue's body punching was like a key difference in that fight. But not since you mentioned it, it was kind of weird looking at Inoue throw that right hand and like him just kind of like letting that be, you know, because I feel like both could have stepped on the gas, but I think it was more in Picasso's. I think by the middle of the fight, towards the end, like I think Inoue was like, well, it's on Picasso to get these rounds, and you know, I don't really need to finish the guy. I've been boxing him from the outside pretty good. It's on him to kind of, you know, get these rounds and make this a closer fight.
Yeah, so this is the thing. For a guy like Inoue, if you're fighting him outside of Japan, that's your chance. Because over there, you're going to let him do what he does and be safe within the framework of his comfortability. But he was in Saudi this time, and it makes a difference. It does. Some people don't.
It's cut and dry over there in Saudi.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cutting. You think that
he's gonna resist fighting over there in the future because he's not gonna be able to get away. See, he went over there doing what he normally does, and he didn't have, you know, the people didn't get word to him because maybe they didn't know, his entourage, his crew and everything. But now that they know that they can't do what they wanted to do, now they may be reluctant to fight in Saudi in the future.
Because you think that's the right punch to counter the right hand, Stormy, the left hook? Because I know they got a whole bunch of punches in boxing. Well, it's at least 6 of them, and I be trying to like I was saying with the Max Schmeling fight. Max had a right hand for Joe's lazy lead left. And
well, Joe Louis.
I was like, well, what would counter?
Hold on 1 second, brother. Joe Louis did not have a lazy left. What happened is he got a lesson in how he was doing his punching output with someone skilled enough to take advantage of the deficiency. Joe Louis fell out of a tree as a child and broke his clavicle. So his left shoulder, his left arm was naturally like lower. Okay.
No.
Listen.
Because he was
it was a thing, it was a mechanic thing, okay? But after the Schmeling fight, where Schmeling took advantage of him, he got better at being able to defend himself. But yes, he had a habit of when he threw the jab, he would drop it. He threw the jab, he dropped it. That was mechanics. It wasn't that it was lazy. It was the mechanics. No one had made him pay for it like Schmeling did. Once Schmeling did that, if you look at Joe's run after Schmeling too, he was a hard man to beat.
That helped him. That helped him in the long run.
Absolutely. Yeah. But in other words, he learned. He learned. Okay. Well, we got fighters of today. They don't want to learn. They don't want to get better. They don't want to go back to the drawing board. They want to continue to thrive in elements where they are comfortable. But life is never comfortable. You will run into issues and situations, circumstances that will test not only your resolve, your character, your ability to make adjustments and things of that nature. That's why boxing is so closely equated to regular living circumstances, because every day there's a battle. Some fights you win, some you take a loss. But you continue to punch on. You understand? This is, I talk about these things often, but what we're seeing with Inoue is he has been countered, but with the left hook and put on the canvas by fighters in the past. What was that? Louis Neary had him on the canvas. The young man that he fought a couple of fights ago, Cardonis had him on the canvas from a counter left. So yes, he can be caught with shots, definitely. Joe
came back in that rematch. It was beautiful. His defense was tighter. He wasn't pawing as much with his lead left, and he got Max out of there. So he got Max out of there quick. Man, Stormy, I've been watching these old fights, and it's them old fighters. It's a whole other different ball game with them old fights. I'm seeing them dudes get dropped. They getting up at the count of 2, kicking their legs out and going right back. The referees not counting in their face, telling somebody to go in the other corner. Like it was just a whole nother different ball game back in the day. People all the back behind the head rabbit punching. It wasn't called. It was a tougher it was a tougher sport definitely back then. But that's all I had. Stormy was on the Anyway fight, and I just finished watching that Abdullah Mason fight, his last fight, which it was good as well.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. One second while I want to get this super chat real quick.
Yes,
not
sir.
super chat, a cash out from the brothers. Freedom's March. Appreciate you, bro. He says, for the grind, never quit. Thank you so much there, Freedom's March, for your donation, my brother. We appreciate your support. Yeah, this fight that Junto had, the co-main event, he was shown to be someone as well that has vulnerabilities. But again, he was in there against a tough Mexican fighter. You know, when people face these Mexican fighters, man, you have to put respect on those Mexican fighters' names because, because they will fight whether they have power or not, whether they have experience or not, and they will test one's resolve.
Yes.
Junto found out that guy threw punches like his hands was on energizer mode. He just was letting his shots go and letting them go and letting them go. And Junto's face was the worst for the wear. His eye looked like it was closed shut. And they gave him a decision that I don't think he should have got. I think it should have been a draw, or you give it to the other guy. Now I know that they want to make that fight next between he and Monster, but this is the thing. If you want to make a fight like that so damn bad, just make the damn fight. Don't put them together on a card where something can happen, like an upset, and you just put them in there against each other. I hate when they do that kind of stuff, man. It's like they're stringing it out, stretching it. It's like, just get to the business. You know what I mean? And that's what they did.
Right.
And Junto almost lost the fight, but they saved him on the judges' scorecards. But I don't feel he really won. And Naoya didn't look as good as he normally looks because they made him take that extra mess off of his hands. Now, if they're going to fight each other in Japan, that's going to be interesting because it'll be back to their familiar grounds, and who knows what'll happen there in those circumstances.
Yeah, them cast gloves on.
Yeah. But we got
that
X41 Red in the building. I am Trill Will. What's good with you? Salute to you. Jay Grant Jr. in the building. Kondo, what's happening? Appreciate all of you guys coming out there, man. I really do. Universal is telling me to check my PayPal. 1 second. See here. 1 second here. We got a lot going on. But yeah, you made some very strong points there, Patrick. I appreciate that, what you brought, man. That was good stuff.
Thank you, Stormy. I learned every time I watch your stream.
Well, I'll say this. One of the best ways that you can learn and watch is to go back and watch the old fights. Like you say you've been doing, man, you could gain so much understanding and knowledge of the game just by putting on some old fights, man, and just taking it all in. That's what's up.
Yeah.
And I wish that more people would do what you're doing, because when you do that, that's knowledge and experience of what has transpired that can't be taken away from you. You know what I mean? So to be able to immerse yourself into the sport like that, that's a wonderful thing to do, and I'm just complimenting you on that because that's the way to fortify yourself.
I sure appreciate it, Stormy. I sure appreciate him. Like them old fighters, that I feel like they really built different. Like I don't know if too many fighters could fight this day and age. All that. Then the ref was like non-existent. The only thing the ref was good for is maybe breaking them up and ding ding ding. That's it. It's a count. You know, it wasn't too much interference. People was more susceptible a lot to just taking more damage. You know, people could have a nice gritty style on the inside. So I'm gonna keep watching them old fights and try to catch up on the new ones as well. But thank you, Stormy. I ain't gonna take up all the airtime on here, but I sure appreciate it. And that's something I ain't know. I didn't know Joe Louis had that accident.
Yeah,
with his left shoulder.
Yeah, he had a severe break to his shoulder, and but you see how it explains things, right? It's like there you go. A little bit of information like that goes a long way because now you understand what the entire drama was behind his matchup against Smelling. And if you notice in the rematch, he took the fight to Smelling and killed that guy, annihilated him in one round. Because he was
round against the ropes,
angry against what the guy did. You know what I mean? And he boasted and bragged about it because he going into the fight, Smelling was like, I saw something and I feel confident that I could take advantage of Joe Louis, and he did. And he boasted and bragged about it. And then Joe was like, okay, even when he won the heavyweight title after that, he didn't feel like he was the complete champion until he got back in the ring and got his get back against Smelling. And
he wanted that get back, and he got that get back. He came in a lot more defensively sound. I didn't see him pawing or trying to. And when he did throw the left, it was with some intention, and he was bringing it a little further back. It wasn't like he was pushing him and letting the guy catch him, because that was the main difference in the fight. Like sometimes in the first fight, Joe would get caught with that right hand, but he would come on his way. He would get on the inside, do some damage. But it just like as the rounds went on,
he took a lot. He took a lot of right hands.
He took a
lot, and then he finally broke through. It's like that's why people say when a guy get knocked down, he's chinny. No, it's not that. He got hit with a lot of right hands that finally put him down and out. But any fighter, if you continue to be able to have open season to their vulnerabilities like that, you're gonna see a breakthrough. And that's anything, you know what I mean? That's just like they talked about Devin Haney getting dropped against Ryan Garcia. He got dropped. The most important thing was he got up and kept fighting. That's the thing that people want to overlook and push to the side. When Ryan Garcia went down against Luke Campbell, he got up. And then when he ended up stopping Campbell, he was so surprised, he jumped up and wrapped his legs around his trainer and everything because he thought his ass was on the way out. But then when he went down against Tank Davis, he didn't get up, did he? See, This is the difference. A fighter that gets up and continues on to press the fight and make the fight and look to win, that's the quality of a fighter that you have to look at and acknowledge. Not the fact that somebody put somebody on their ass. Mike Tyson put a lot of people on their ass. But then people began to put him on his ass and he couldn't finish. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
Think about it.
Yeah.
He put a lot of people on their ass. But then when they start putting him on his, he couldn't get up. Why is that?
We gotta be able to take it. If you could give it, you got to be able to take it.
There you go. See?
Yep.
So,
but thank you for your time, Stormy. I so appreciate it. You got What's another old school fight? I've been kind of going down the rabbit hole. I've been seeing a lot of old Ali when I forgot the man he was fighting, but he's some real he's real tight. It was a What's My Name fight. I just finished watching that not too long ago.
Ernie
Terrell.
Yeah.
I just finished watching that. I don't know. They got thousands. They got plenty. They got plenty enough.
Why don't you go back and look at Larry Holmes and Ken Norton?
Oh yeah, I'm getting at another one. I get at another look. Yep. That fight of the century.
Yep. And then even after that, you could look at Ken Norton and Ernie Shavers.
Okay, I ain't see them fight. I ain't see that one.
Yeah, pull that one up.
All right.
Yeah.
Salute, Stormy. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate your call and your support. Have a great one, man. And don't be a stranger.
Too,
call again.
Yes, sir. Will do.
All right. Peace to you. Great call by Patrick there. And I want to acknowledge this. We got a PayPal donation from Universal Truth out there. Appreciate you, Universal. He says, I appreciate the awards video last night. Thanks for all you do. Thank you, brother. Listen, I love the sport like that, man. That's why I did a show. That show was just strictly for the awards. Huh? And who else is doing that? I ain't seen nobody give awards for the performances of the year and everything. Not that I'm challenging or anything, but I'm saying I always try to look toward presenting you with some content that has value to it. That's all. That's all. And you didn't even have to agree with me. But I bet you one thing, a show like that, even if the candidates that I put out there, it make you think about who you would think should get this award or whatever. That stirs the pot of thinking. Get your brains working, huh? That's what that's all about, man. And I will continue to do that. I think that's my 3rd year of doing the awards show. So that's what that is. But thank you guys for the donations, Freedom's March and Universal. Appreciate that so much, man. Yeah. So yeah. See what you guys are saying out here in the chat. Let's see. Coach Hudson was mentioning the old mongoose, Archie Moore. Who were you talking about with the old mongoose there, Coach Hudson? That's a great guy to watch fight, I tell you that. His fight against Rocky Marciano was something else. And his fights against Yvonne Durrell. Boy, that was some knockdown, drag-out battles right there. Yes, sir. Jose Diaz in the building. He says, Ernie Shavers used to hit like a freight train. He used to chop down trees to get stronger. Yeah. He says, a good conversation always helps. Yes. Jonathan Simon in the building says, blessings to you and the chat, Stormy. Appreciate that. Jonathan Simon in the building. What's happening? Yeah, buddy. If you guys could go back and catch some old Georgie Benton as well. Georgie Benton was a hell of a fighter, former trainer, former fighter turned trainer, Georgie Benton. Yes, sir. But we got them phone lines open, you guys. You can feel free to call in. Just know that next Saturday, we got a fight coming up. It's an opportunity for Amanda Serrano to return to the ring. She was supposed to originally be facing Erica Cruz, but Cruz popped dirty. So Serrano now is going to take on this young lady. It's unfortunate that the Cruz fight is not going to happen now. But this is next Saturday in San Juan, Puerto Rico. She's going to fight Rihanna Tellis. Now, Tellis, this is going to be for the simple WBO featherweight title. Tellis is 13-0 with 1 draw and 5 KOs. She's 22 years of age, fighting out of San Antonio, Texas, but she's originally from Vero Beach, Florida. Yeah. We'll see what she brings to Amanda, but she's very short. And I think that Serrano is going to eat her up because of her height and size disadvantage. Especially coming off of the 2 fights with Katie Taylor, this is an opportunity for Serrano to get back in the win column. At the age of 37, she's up there like Crawford, with over 50 fights now. She's going to have to get her butt out of the sport. I want to see Amanda go sit down somewhere. So we'll see what's happening. There's an interesting undercard fight there where Stephanie Hahn is going to take on Holly Holm. That'll be interesting for a women's fight. Ebony Bridges is returning to the ring after having her child with, what's his name? Chocolate Brownies. I hope you're hungry. I hope you're ready. Huh? Yeah. So we'll see. Yeah, buddy. So we'll see. We'll see what's happening. Jonathan Simon says, Stormy, Holly came back to boxing. Yeah, she's back, bro. After laying hands on, what's her name? Rhonda. She realized, oh, I could do this. Where Rhonda at now, y'all, huh? She ain't on the cover of Ring, I can tell you that. But, yeah. Yeah, old hillbilly ass Rhonda. Holly Holm gave her a taste of, you know, blondes have more fun, huh? Well, I tell you, I be signifying, don't I? I just be giving them grief, man. Smash that like button, you new folks that come in the past 20 minutes or so. And hey, man, the lines are open. Come on, we can let's have some more conversation. I'm enjoying this. Don't just be a peeper, be a participator, man. Be a participator. Come on in here and get some of this boxing conversation, man. Columbia's in the building now as well. What's good with you, Columbia? There's 215 is out there. What's happening? Yeah, Jose Diaz, they're popping dirty because you got a lot of people who can't compete without assistance. Assistance, bro. Do you guys remember the home run derby between, what was his name, from St. Louis, and old boy here from Chicago? You know, they were hitting those home runs like every other night. It's like they was knocking the balls out of the park. Them guys was on steroids, man. You're damn right they were all juiced up. They were really juiced up. Another fight card to talk about. Let me see if I can pull something up with these two guys. They're the champions. Let's see here. On Saturday, January 10th. Well, I'm talking about June. January 10th. Subriel Matias taking on Dalton Smith, man. This is a good fight for Subriel's WBC title, junior welterweight. Don't count Dalton Smith out of this fight. Smith may prove to be a worthy adversary. They've been grooming this guy for a world title shot, and now he's getting it against a guy who is very vulnerable. With a record of 18-0 and 13 KOs, he's ready to step out of Sheffield and come into the international realm of boxing. Matias is now 33, which could be older. Let's not forget that. They're roughly the same size, 5'8", 5'9". And Smith is looking for a breakout performance. And if Liam Perro, who got a decision off of Subriel back in June of last year, Dalton Smith is a better fighter than Liam Perro, guys. A much better fighter. So, Subriel may be in trouble. He very well may be. This will be at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, so we'll see what happens. Yeah. So, we'll see. Columbia says Subriel may be on his way out. Yeah, he very well may be. I know he didn't want no smoke with Devin. He definitely didn't want to see Devin Haney. Some of these guys just hang around hoping for an opportunity at a belt that got vacated because a guy moved up or a guy retired or whatever. It's like none of them are chasing the smoke. This is what I was saying earlier when talking about some of these guys that they're half-hearted in their efforts, man. It's ridiculous to watch. Very bad to watch. Joe Townsend in the building. What's good with you, bro? I'm gonna have to get some of that drink off of you, man. You know, we get past these holidays and whatnot, then I'll be able to order something from you, man. And I'm not a drinker. I like to just have some in the house in case I can have guests over and say, hey, we want to try this? Because that's good stuff, man. I say how everybody was enjoying it when we were at the meet and greet. But yeah, you guys, the lines are open. Nobody wants to talk about these fights. Come on now. This Dalton Smith matchup. Then, of course, later in the month, you got these guys, the heavyweights. Moses Atulma from the UK is going to take on Jermaine Franklin. Franklin's getting another chance against a top fighter, or an up-and-coming fighter, I should really say. It's a great opportunity, man. This will be the 24th, I think. If Franklin can't lose weight and come in shape, he's going to get destroyed. This guy's got to get motivated, man. I don't know what else can motivate him. You're getting all these opportunities and you're not doing anything with them. Cut that damn hair off. Cut some of that fat off. Get your butt in shape and go out there and win yourself a fight where you can put yourself in contention for a world title. Yep. That's what he needs to do. And then, of course, you guys know at the end of the month, you got this one here. Shitty Cuz is going to challenge Teofimo for his title. We'll see what happens there. Shitty Cuz. What if Shitty Cuz loses, guys? Keith Cologne is going to be on the undercard for Matthias and Dalton Smith, man. So got to keep your eyes out for Keith Cologne. That's a friend of the community there. Wishing him well. Lopez is going to be against Shakur at Madison Square Garden. The undercard there has shaped up. The co-main event, you got Carlos Adames taking on Austin Ammo Williams for his WBC middleweight title. That's a good fight because Ammo is trying to come back and fight for a world title. Carlos Adames is trying to establish himself as a reigning champion. Jamel Big Baby Miller is going to return to the ring against Kingsley eBay. And we don't know what's going to happen there because Miller hasn't been able to be active enough to see what he has. And of course, Bruce Shushu Carrington is coming back against Carlos Castro. And that's for the vacant WBC featherweight title. So Shushu is getting ready to fight for a world title. When he fought that guy last year, Suleiman Sagawa gave him a tough fight. And even Shushu said something to him in the post-fight in the ring, you know, giving him his credit in that. But I was concerned for Shushu in that fight. I like Shushu, but he's going to have to get himself in a position to be elevated. Let's see here. Okay, we got 951 in the building. Hold 1 second, 951. Just hold 1 second. I'm switching something up on my board here. Hold on 1 second. 1 second. Okay, we got 951 in the building. What's good with you, man?
What's good with it, Sensei VJ?
Yes, what's happening? How you feel?
Feeling real good. Feeling real good. How about yourself, Sensei?
Yeah, man. Listen, there's so much going on. The sport of boxing is real active. If you are looking for certain fighters, it could be seeming like there's slim pickings. But if you like the sport, man, we are being inundated with fights. Inundated. There's fights coming out the ears. That pro box fight from last week with the double knockdown and everything, the knockout in the main event, Cardenas, man, listen, that's some good stuff, bro. That's some good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Who did you hear about Cardenas knocking out Robles in that fight, man? Nobody.
I was unexpected. Yeah. And it did not take Cardenas not too long to knock him out. It was one of them cold knockouts like that. I rolled back. I was like, oh, shucks.
Yeah, man, it's been some great stuff happening, bro. I cannot be mad at the sport. Then we had that fight with Callum Smith and Troy Williamson, and Williamson was behind on all the judges' scorecards, knocks him down and out in the 10th round of a scheduled 12-rounder, and he stops him like nobody saw that coming. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Man.
And I know the co-main event. I can't remember their names that well, but I remember I know the champion. He ended up breaking his right hand, but he basically dominated the whole fight. I was like, dang, that was a good fight. Mexico versus Puerto Rico.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So we're getting stuff.
Yeah, I give props to Mexico. I was like, that dude he stayed the distance, but man, he was messed up. But I know in that pro box fight, it was the second fight. I forgot the two brothers' names, but it only lasted until the first round. The last 2 seconds of the round, bro, knocked them clean out.
Yeah, man. It's like this, because like you sit down and you say, well, I'm gonna watch this, right? And then the action turns out to be like really heated, And pro box, I said this once before, and I'm gonna say it once again. They've become the new Tuesday night fights, bro, because the fights they put on, the matchups are great. It's 50-50 or 60-40. It's none of that 80-20 mess going down on their channel, bro. It's not.
Yep, I agree. But I was expecting it pretty much was going to be a slugfest through the whole shebang. I'm like, man, I know only 2 fights went the distance, but yeah, it was slugfest. Literally every fight was really only lasting the first round. That was it.
And what did you think of the double knockdown, bro?
That's the first time I've seen a double knockdown. I was surprised. That was James versus Martinez. I know they both black brothers. I was like, good Lord.
What was great about that is this. You only seen that in the movies, but it happened for real, and it's like, holy smokes. And the reactions were just as real as you would estimate it to be, because both guys were stunned, but I think that Joshawn James, he was a little bit more with it,
Yeah.
My man, what's his name? Hernandez?
I know his last name's Martinez. Yeah, Martinez.
Martinez, yeah, because I'm getting Martinez mixed up with Hernandez, who was on the other card. But yeah, dude, he was shaking, but that was only because his punch was probably a half a second less later than Johan's, because Joshawn, I should say, because Joshawn landed and he landed. It's like, but if they had landed at the same time, you could have had a double knockout.
Yep, I agree with that. That's probably my favorite card of the year right there, was that card.
And you know what? That's why I said I waited to the later portion of the year to do my award show, because I realized after all of these fights and everything that was going on, I'm like, there still could be something happen at the end of the year. So as we got to the, like last week, I'm like, okay, let's see. And sure enough, bro, it was like, it was turning into, it was turning into a situation where these guys were looking to be candidates for fight of the year.
Yeah.
I love it, man.
I totally agree with that.
So what?
I definitely agree with that.
What's on your mind?
Oh, nothing much. I mean, pretty much, you taught me to not be biased and actually watch boxing for boxing. So, like most cards now, like I look at it as from an unbiased, mindset.
And I get my opinions for certain fighters for certain matches, but I mean, there's some that, you know, it's just unexpected. And I'm like, oh man, I'm glad I got to watch the fight for what it is. Instead of just, being biased and judging like, oh no, I want this fighter to win. I want that fighter to win. He should have won. But I did watch the Nui fight. I just thought that after the fifth round for me, it was Nui gave him a cool little right hook on Picasso, and he was stunned for a cool minute. Even though Nui didn't knock him out, Picasso really didn't shoot nothing after that. He was just really I guess, wanted to just survive, like how basically Regis Prograis was fighting Devin Haney.
Yeah.
Like when he really expected, he knew that, that power, he was like, it was a done wrap. I'm like, man, because I thought he was going to be a little bit more aggressive like he did the last two rounds. I thought if he did more of that, yeah, that would be more of an exciting fight. But yeah, he wrapped that up in the fifth round.
Yeah.
And I guess I was a little disappointed.
What happened with Inoue, man, and this was the story right here. When they made him change his hand wraps, bro, that was it. That was the story.
Yeah.
This guy's been.
I didn't know that they had him change him.
On time, huh?
I didn't know they actually had him change him for that fight.
Yeah. There's short videos out here all over YouTube that people filmed it and posted it. It's like they made him take that shit off, man.
I can't blame him. I know Riyadh don't play that. Saudi don't play that at all.
Nope. You got to go in there with all your skills, whether you have them or not or whatever, but you can't come in there with no extra BS. Because they ain't letting that fly at all. They are not letting that fly.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that 100%. I agree with that 100%. I don't know why people are scared to talk to you, Sensei.
Man, listen. You know what it is. It's like people, they come out there and they really not supporting. They just, you ever, and I liken this, use this analogy all the time. You ever remember when you were in school, there were certain people that wouldn't participate in the class activities. It's like the teacher could be standing at the top of the class, writing stuff on the board, asking somebody to answer a theorem or question or whatever, and people be quiet, hoping that she don't call on them. And it's like, you raise your hand, and maybe if you active enough, she might not even call on you because you raise your hand, because she knows she'll get an answer from you, but she want to hear from some of the lively, the less lively students, and they won't. They try to pretend and sink down in their chair and all of that. Those people become adults too, just like you did. And this is what you have out here today. It's exactly what it is. Non-participants.
I agree.
And that's okay. That's okay. Because I can get over here and I can go watch my football game now, because the Bears have been winning some games lately, and they kicked Green Bay in the butt last week after getting kicked in the butt by Green Bay 2 weeks earlier. So
yeah,
who knows what happened? And I have some more stuff to rib 78 about, because at Green Bay, they've been having their way with the Bears for years. But we got them this year. We got them in the game that counted most this year. Yep.
Our number one in y'all division this year. I was surprised because even my football team, the Chargers, I was surprised they're doing so well this year, because not only they maybe get about 4 or 5 games a year, and they know they really, really suck, but I'm surprised they really got, they're doing actually pretty well this year.
Yeah, buddy. So that's what I'm gonna do, man. I ain't got to worry about if somebody gonna call. I don't have to be on here for another half hour. and go watch me some football.
Did you hear that the Bears? I heard that allegedly they think about moving from Chicago to Indiana.
Who knows what they're gonna do, man? Who knows? I ain't liking on them like that. I just like because I tuned in the past couple weeks. I saw them win a couple games, but I had stopped watching. I hadn't watched football in over 10 years.
I probably haven't really watched football except like some of the highlights. Oh, these are good, like 8 years.
Yeah, I still can't tell you who the players are on the field. Can't tell you. All I know is they got a black quarterback, and you know, the people don't take to him too kindly because Chicago is a racist town, man. You gotta be extra special to play here and everything. So if this boy ain't got his stuff together, they gonna let him know how they feel about it.
I remember like that quarterback that you're talking about. Yeah, he was had his nails painted, and after I guess this year he stopped painting his nails, so he got better. I thought it was completely odd.
Yeah. So,
I mean, that's. I'm happy for the Bears. They're doing a whole lot better. Cause I remember, I guess when the Lions, I think like a year back or so, the Lions got really good. Cause I mean, they used to suck really, really bad.
Mm-hmm.
And they got to the playoffs, even though they lost. I guess the NFC part of it, but I was surprised they actually got better. I know they were sucking for years.
Yeah.
I mean, that's actually cool. Right. But I guess I'll go get on off and let somebody else get on.
Yeah, bro. I'm gonna get ready to wrap things up so I can go watch some football, man. It's time. So, but yeah, I appreciate your call, man. I appreciate your support as well. You know, appreciate your donation.
Yeah, I forgot. There should be some merch coming your way. I just sent it a few days ago.
Oh, okay. I'll keep an eye out.
Yeah, I emailed it to you, and I gave you the tracking number, but I don't know if I got to you yet.
Yeah, okay. Cool. I'll keep an eye out for it.
Cool. That works for me.
All right, bro. I appreciate your call, man. You take it easy. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, man.
Oh, I will.
All right. Peace to you.
All right, go.
Yeah, buddy. So, we're going to get ready to get on up out of here. Stormy can go watch him some football. See, some of y'all, you had a chance to call, and you didn't call. So now, if you think you could call, you ain't, huh? Because I'm going to get on back. Pigskin. Yeah. So with that being said, we're going to get on up out of here, man. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. You guys enjoy the rest of your Sunday. And go Bears. Huh?